Well, thanks a lot for your time, Jim. I'll get your number, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
Okay.
thanks.
So this is, I'm gonna grab that. That's kind of what I did for Microsoft. You first try to find out if he's going on vacation somewhere, and you know you have a selling point if he is. So what really happens is that first selling point is what you're trying to get to. And the conversation, even though it's fakey, is the way you have to do it. And if he wasn't going on vacation, I wouldn't have had a selling point. I'd have to go with like point number, whatever. The first selling point maybe would have been the vacation. The second selling point says, have you ever been to a tanning salon? Do you know that it helps vitamin D in your, even though they can't prove that. So you have to, they say it, but they can't prove it. That you have to have these selling points, and once you grab onto that selling point, it's like a bait. So I'm going to go you on this manual. They have another selling point, and they do a very good job in this manual to understand how a sales rep gets to that selling point. He goes and talks about a coffee machine, and he starts interacting with the customer, and then he says this: I'm glad to hear that. It sounds like you're happy and don't have any problems with your coffee machine. Customer goes, it works pretty good. It does break down sometimes, usually during busy times, like when we're preparing our annual budget and reports for our board of directors. We make thousands of copies then, and I guess the machine just gets overloaded. You go, what happens then? The service technician usually doesn't come for a day or more, so we have to wait until he gets here and fixes it. Bingo, you got a selling point. Oh yeah, didn't you know our service contract does 24/7? And also, if you can't use our copy machine, we have a gift certificate to go down to Kinko's and you make as many copies as you want on our tab. So immediately you get this selling point and you bring them in. And that's the key to issue, to get to the decision makers and then get to the selling point as quickly as possible. You usually have about 5 minutes to do that. And also, another issue, and they mentioned in here, listen to the customer. If he wants to extemporaneously go off on his expertise, let him, and write everything he says down. Take really good notes and compliment him. You know, a lot of people think sales is a one-way street. It actually, I find, a two-way street. And a lot of great salesmen are great listeners as well. So I'm going to conclude the speech with a story I heard from a Microsoft contractor who worked for Microsoft and was selling software competing against Novell. What he did was he called his customer to be. He said, sir, I understand that you may have security problems with your Novell system. He goes, well, I haven't really looked into it. He goes, well, sir, I want to come and visit you to discuss that. Well, I don't know, but maybe I'll call you back if I have security problems. He goes, okay. Well, he's in his car, and he was outside the building, and so they had a wireless network. He logged onto their computer system, then printed out his business card on their printer without them knowing it. He got a call the next day. That's called strategic sales. It's kind of dirty pull sometimes, but he did demonstrate a security flaw. And he really keyed in on the point that the person didn't know. The person did not have any clue about the security flaw. He said, aha, this guy doesn't know what's going on. I'm going to really sting him, and he's going to want me to come back. And that's the issue. Get to the selling point, listen to your customer, and try to follow those steps I outlined, and I think you'll be very successful at cold calling. Thank you.